Consent. You know, a lot of times people talk about consent and they're only referring to clapping cheeks. But it doesn't start with clapping cheeks. When the bear versus man debate was raging on social media in its peak, a lot of people rightly saw that as men having a problem with consent, having a problem with a woman having her own opinion, an opinion that didn't coincide and agree with the man's opinion. And the fact that she wouldn't give consent to be around a random man in the woods angered them. Like, how dare she choose who she would rather be around? So consent doesn't begin with clapping cheeks. It begins in the very first encounter that you have with someone. When a man walks up to a woman and asks for her number and she says no thank you and he gets upset, he has a problem with consent. In the last few days, I've actually run into two men and I was like, wow, they have problems with consent. So the first one was a guy that I matched with on Plenty of Fish, and we had chatted in the app for a while. And so I finally gave him my number, and we were having our very first conversation. And we were literally not even 7 minutes into this conversation when he began to rail and rant and almost rage about the last women that he met from the app and how they were not over their exes and were comparing him to their exes. And also, I had asked him a little bit more detail about what he did as far as his driving job. And so I learned that he was out of town 4 days a week and in town only 3. And then he went on a rant about how women learned that he was a truck driver and just made all these assumptions about him and didn't even give him a chance, didn't take the chance to get to know him. Now, of course, my ex was a truck driver, and that definitely led to his philandering ways, all right? So I already have had an experience with that, but I wasn't initially bothered by the fact he was a driver at all. I mean, I gave the guy my number knowing he was a driver, but I was bothered by the fact that out of the 7 minutes that we've been on the phone, he'd spent about 5 of them ranting, raving, and raging about women's choices, as if they didn't have the right to choose to not date a man with a job that they felt uncomfortable with, or not continue to get to know a man after they saw some kind of thing that disturbed them. So I ended up getting off the phone and I sent him a text message a little while later saying, hey, thank you for the conversation, but I don't think that we're a really good match and I hope you find what you're looking for. And I blocked him on POF and I blocked him in my phone. And he reached out from another number and texted me with a whole slew of expletives about me and, everything you could think about. And I was like, yep, I was right. He has a problem with consent. He feels that I and these other women owe him this shot that he's talking about. We owe him conversations, dates, whatever else he might think he's owed. And that's sad because this is literally a 50-year-old man, but he can't deal with the fact that not every conversation or not every date is going to go, and develop into what he wants it to develop into. Now, there was another situation that happened just today. So I saw this guy post, you're in those Facebook groups and they say, post up a picture of your beard and lips and whatever. So that's what it was. And he posted a picture and I actually sent him a friend request. And that was all I did, was just send him a friend request. He was very handsome. And I sent him a friend request. And the very next thing, I get a video call, right? It's, Messenger is asking me to approve a video call and I deny it. And I sent him a text message. I'm like, I don't video chat with people I don't know. So just call me instead. Just call me. He can call me through Messenger, a normal call, right? And so we're talking and just getting to know him a little bit. How old are you? What side of town do you live on? Do you have kids? What are you looking for? Are you single? These just kind of questions. And he starts, now we literally are 7 minutes into this conversation, and I'm beginning to wonder if 7 is a magic number or something like that. And he starts saying, I want to see you. And I say, hey, we have just begun conversing. I literally know nothing about you. I don't even know if I would be comfortable enough to meet you yet. I like to feel, some comfort level, some compatibility, some chemistry before I meet someone. So I would like to just talk to you a little longer and just develop, a baseline of knowing who you are, and whether there's any kind of potential there. And we talk a few minutes longer about some things on his page, and then he says again, I want to see you. And I say, I just told you that I want to talk to you more. Like literally 30 seconds has passed since I just said that. And he hangs up on me. I'm like, wow. Okay. The man said, I like what I see. I want to meet you. And I was like, no, I want to talk to you further. So consent, it does not begin with clapping cheeks.